Any speaker wants to make a great impression, and to be honest, most speakers have only just got about 30 seconds to make that impression because people draw their own conclusions within those first few seconds. So it's important to hit the nail on the head and try to make as great an impression as possible. And here's some 12 different ideas on how you can make a great impression and make a great impact just in those opening seconds. One thing a lot of speakers do is ask the audience just to imagine something. Get them to paint a mental picture of something, such as imagine if you were sitting on a beach, the sun setting, margarita in your hand, then you hear a scream from out in the distance. Okay, you get the idea. They're painting some sort of picture for the audience to immerse themselves in. Another one a lot of people try is to try to be funny, try to be humorous, even tell a joke. This is really dangerous, and you have to know that the humour is going to work for that audience. Something like, look, with lockdown finally over, it's good to see everyone again. We've all changed. I've obviously slimmed down. Again, you need to make sure the humour works because there's nothing worse than a failed joke that bombs in those opening few seconds. A third thing you could do to start is shock the audience. Do some sort of pattern interrupt. I've seen a speaker walk on stage, look around, and shape to light a cigarette. It's not what they were expecting. I've seen other speakers or another speaker arrive on the stage on a bike. Some sort of pattern interrupt. You park the bike over to the side, left it there, and never even referred to it during the whole speech. It's a bit similar to the fourth tip is to bring on stage a prop of some sort, something to get the people to wonder what's going to happen, what you're going to do. I've seen people pull notes out of their pockets and read something. I've seen people, use some sort of fancy cap just to draw attention to something completely different. Gets people talking, wondering. Naturally, it needs to have something to do with the body of the speech. Another thing that people do is pose a challenging question, or even just an open-minded question to get the audience involved thinking. Something like, what to you is a good life? That's sort of open-ended, challenging, thoughtful, reflecting sort of question. The sixth tip, the sixth idea is to quote some knockout stats. Here's one. The average drunk driver drives 80 times drunk before finally getting caught. And then you continue with the speech about, the perils of drink driving and the dangers on the road. Seventh tip is to pause. See how long you can pause. When you're introduced, you get to the podium, you get yourself set, and you look around the audience in silence. Pausing is very impactful. Eighth tip, tease a story. Something like, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I would like to make a confession. You don't make the confession immediately, but you just tease the story. The confession will appear later in the speech. Number 9, perhaps make a provocative statement. If you listen to what I'm to say, you will live 60 minutes longer than what you expect. Okay, people are wanting to hear how to live 60 minutes longer. Can they multiply that? That's a little bit provocative. I've seen people be physical on stage, shape up and sort of bounce around and pretend to, jeer the audience on with some sort of physical performance. More typically, though, a speech often involves the setting up of a problem. And that's a bit more of a typical speech opener. Something like, how do we reduce the divorce rates? Some sort of problem identifier, and naturally the balance of the speech will talk about that particular topic. And the final one is, and it's a fairly common one, is to quote, make a famous quote. or make use of a famous quote. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Simple one, but good quotes are good quotes because they are thought provoking, and they're nifty, they're clever. So many a speech starts with a quote. So there we go, 12 tips, 12 ideas on how you can start a speech and with great impact and to make that great first impression.